mostly just hanging out in San Francisco, getting beaten by his drunk stepfather, sleeping on the sidewalk while he was homeless, starting fights at his school. So when Jared is not busy psychically communicating with someone who lives in another country or fighting with people because he's spacing out while he's talking to someone who isn't there, he's very busy also not having any friends. And people sort of think he's weird and scary because he has an imaginary friend, which I think is kind of silly. Cammy overall seems like a positive influence on his life. She encourages him to do well in school and not give up on things like that because they're important. And this counselor woman, she's just like, no, you're crazy, you've got to give up on these delusions. So we're gonna glaze right over Jared killing his stepdad and just move right on to Jared's motorcycle. It is probably one of the most concerning things to me about Jared, and it's a stupid thing that I should not be concerned about because it doesn't really matter in the grander story. But it matters to me. So Jared has a motorcycle, and I can reasonably suspend my disbelief that he would be able to come up with the money or perhaps just steal a motorcycle. Like, it doesn't really matter how he gets it. I can reasonably believe that he would have one. The concerning part is that he still has the motorcycle in the Vale, which means that he either somehow transported the same motorcycle that he had in San Francisco overseas all the way to the Vale, or it was just one of his very first priorities as soon as he arrived in the Vale to purchase a second motorcycle. And both of those options seem really outlandish to me. I don't think he would have the financial means on his own to transport a motorcycle overseas. I also don't think he would have the financial means to purchase a second motorcycle after he has arrived in the Vale. So either one of these options, one of his other family members has to be financing it. And why would they do that? He lives within walking distance of the school, and they have a car. Ash drives a car. They go to the same school. Why are they taking two separate vehicles to the same school? I know they hate each other, but it's very impractical. How does Jared have a motorcycle? If you're approached by an American talking about their ancestral home, you should be very wary, especially if that American is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy with a southern drawl. It was like a tornado siren to me every time he spoke, warning of danger. Luckily, though, Ash is just really into his ancestral estate where his family sacrifices non-magical people who they view as lesser so they can use their blood to fuel their magic powers. That's probably why he adopted the accent in a desperate bid to make friends with the local children. I do think that this was unsuccessful, and the only thing that Ash had to look forward to in his childhood would be returning to his ancestral home and going on hunting trips with his father in the dead of night so they could sacrifice animals to use their blood to fuel their magic powers. Like, what if Ash did successfully assimilate into a rural southern culture? What if Ash went to Waffle House? I don't think the Lynburns would be savvy enough to catch on to that. And by that point, 17 years had passed. I feel like I'm reading the books wrong because Ash is supposed to be like the prince of the town and it's supposed to be like crazy Jared, the bad boy. But I just immediately perceive them both as like pathetic losers because Jared's like starting fights all the time, but he loses most of them. So he can't possibly be that dangerous. Everybody kicks his ass, like pretty easily. Can't tell me a normal one. Jamie's not facing the same issues as Ash and Jared are.